actually learned English in the Army, then went off to go fight in Korea and Vietnam. And if he was on time, he was late, and being on time for him was being early. And he impressed that upon me from a very young age. He raised my mother and her brothers on Cornwall Drive, right off the Meadowbrook. And my mother actually was one of the first students at Glen Hills, and it was like brand new. When I moved back to Augusta, unfortunately my grandfather had a stroke when I was about 18, and my grandmother had come down with dementia and Alzheimer's, so we moved in with my mother and father. My grandfather was living at the Blue Goose, so when it came time for me to decide where to reside, I chose West Augusta because it put me closer to my grandfather at the Blue Goose and my grandmother at my parents' house. I was close to my church, and being close to church and family, something's very important, I think, to a lot of people. I want to talk about a few things as far as my platform is concerned with the mayor's race. Number one, crime is a big, big issue in our community. With any growing community, you're going to have growing crime. I understand we lose a lot of good officers to our neighboring counties. They pay more than we do. And we need to do better. We can set the example. We should be setting the example. One of the things I can do to help with that, the elected mayor, is I can actually work on cutting my own budget. And what I save, I can give to law enforcement. It'd be a great start. I think it's something that needs to happen. When I go and knock on doors in South Augusta, do you know what I see at a lot of houses? Doorbell cameras. I don't have one. They're expensive. I see doorbell cameras. I see cameras on the porches. I see lots of floodlights. What's that tell you? Because it tells me that there's a big crime problem. In my own neighborhood, my nephew's father, he's in law enforcement. He spent months in a car with tinted out, blacked out windows, surveying a drug house. And he told me that that operation was very far-reaching, almost nationally. Right around from where I'm raising my family. I have a little 14-month-old at home. I don't want to raise him where there's a drug house around the street from where I live. Nobody wants that. So we've got to do something about law enforcement. We've got to do something to suppress the crime in our county. Next, I want to start cutting some of the government red tape we have. I'm in the insurance business, and I can't tell you how many clients can't expand their businesses. Some clients have a hard time even opening a business. They come to me, they say, I'm trying to do this, that, what's the insurance going to cost? And I get to work on it right away. The next thing I know, they say, I have all these problems dealing with the government, dealing with the licensing, planning, and zoning. And for some of them, it costs them a lot of money. One client, almost $250,000. And he couldn't open his business. And he can't get that money back. And you know what we lost? We lost what would have been a good business, a good option for us to go support. And the people he had hired lost their jobs. And that's not right. Finally, the James Brown Arena. Everybody I've talked to agrees that the process by which we have entered into everything has been a complete disaster. Yep. I think everybody should vote on that referendum. It's vital to know what the people think. You know, it's time to do something on Gordon Highway. 15 years ago, some friends of mine from college called me up. They said, we're in Augusta right now. We don't understand why you love Augusta. And I said, why not? And they said, all we see are abandoned strip malls. I didn't have to ask them where they were. I knew they were on that Gordon Highway stretch. It's a major corridor for so many people to come into our community. And that's what they see. And 15 years later, I've not forgotten that. And I don't see any progress. And it's time. Augusta can do something down there. Georgia is an extremely business-friendly state. We took the Mercedes-Benz headquarters from New Jersey. And I liked what Mr. Jones said about putting some kind of business at the Regency Mall site. We can do it. Georgia can do it. Augusta can do it. How many people think that the debate we're having on this arena is unique to us? Show of hands. Does anybody think that's something that's brand new, that's never been discussed in any cities before? Because San Antonio, I think 19 years ago, they chose to have a new arena built for the Spurs. They were promised hotels, businesses, etc. They've seen none of that. You could Google it, San Antonio Spurs Arena. We don't have problems that are totally unique to us. When we were debating about our ballpark years ago, you know who else was debating about a ballpark at the exact same time we were? City of Tampa. They were arguing over where they should put a new ballpark, where they should even build one. But you know, I point those out to say this. We can look at what those other cities in our country did with their issues, their debates on ballparks, their debates on arenas. Let's see what they did right. Let's see what they did wrong. Let's learn from it so that we in our community don't make those same mistakes. You're talking millions of dollars. Let's look and learn from the mistakes other people have made. Let's see the successes they've made. Let's implement the successes they've done. This is a wonderful community, and I look forward to the opportunity to help make it the best possible community it can be, not just for my child, for everybody's children. May 22nd, I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you very much.